clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
Did you know that I had a father out there? Alive this whole time?
These are the top 25 most badass villain scenes in TV shows.
Sir! Sir! Move.
To kick things off, we have the most terrifying portrayal of Eat the Rich. Yeah, the Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise aren't exactly warriors of social justice, but this sequence just happened to be something of a huge coincidence. No matter how the rest of this series shapes up, watching the alien rip through an eyes wide shut looking party was sheer brilliance. The way they shot the Xenomorph was also quite cool, bringing back the actual horror elements of this franchise, which its creators seem to have forgotten after the first two movies. We don't even see it attacking the crowd directly, but the aftermath was more than enough to give us an idea of how it went about its business. I mean, the fact that it takes only around 5 seconds to murder an entire room full of people was nuts. Yeah, that's a badass alien right there, fellas. If only the rest of Alien Earth was anywhere close to being as good as this scene.
It was a dumb move by a dumb man. Do something about it.
A pretty surprising entry up next. It's quite difficult to believe that somebody claiming that Reacher loses all his aura in this one scene, but it's actually true. No matter how you look at it, Paulie was physically superior to our boy in pretty much every way imaginable. He was taller, had bigger muscles, and was definitely stronger than Reacher. What can I say? I guess some people are given such impeccable genes that even Sydney Sweeney falls short.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
In this particular sequence, Reacher loses his cool when he finds out about Paulie accidentally murdering Annette and gets into a tense exchange with the giant. It's one of those rare instances where the hero is unable to maintain his composure and he takes the bait when Paulie eggs him on to strike. This was the moment that he needed to show that he can only take Reacher's punch but also knock him down with just one blow. It shocked all the Reacher fans out there, yours truly included. But yeah, it also established Paulie as an insanely strong badass.
Hey, Punch and Judy, we got work to do. Move your ass.
This is your dream. It's so sweet, too. It's so pathetic. You really think people will make a float of your dumb face and march you down the street chanting your goddamn name?
Up next is a lesson in manners. No matter what his position may be to you, one must be careful not to mock Oswald. That was the fatal mistake Alberto committed, as it resulted in one of the most sudden deaths you'll ever witness on television. The Penguin is shown to be this submissive kind of character at first, especially considering his attachment to the Falcones, but after the events of the Batman, you could say his loyalty was already wavering. Oswald ain't the type to put anyone above himself, so ending Alberto was kind of like the director's way of telling us this is his true nature.
Oh, Oswald Cobb. Remember him? What a guy. What a little
Honestly, the clueless fool kept insulting Oswald for taking his piece of all the businesses he was managing, but he should have also thought about why his dad never pointed it out despite knowing what the Penguin was doing. Either way, this is definitely a great lesson on how you should open a show.
Is this what happens when you go behind my back?
Oh, listen, comrade, I swear on my life on our childhoods.
Maeve, are you lying to me?
Up next is a series that's never been covered before on the TV region. Mobland was a pleasantly good surprise on my 2025 watch list, and one of the main things it taught me was that friendships can vanish in an instant. Just ask Conrad about it. Killing Archie may have seemed like an impulsive act, but it also gave us great insight into the kind of mentality Conrad operates. This was his childhood buddy and his business advisor, but he still shot him down in cold blood after getting manipulated by Maeve.
Is this some kind of piss take?
Yes, Archie. The piss has been taken.
Dad!
After watching the show, you could say that this was a foolish act, but in the world of the Mafia, you can't really afford to take second chances, can you? Plus, Conrad's maniacal actions were pretty badass because it showed us how unpredictable he is as a character. Considering the stellar cast this show has, such as Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, Paddy Considine, and Tom Hardy, you could summarize this sequence as James Bond eliminates King Edward VIII in the presence of Queen Elizabeth II and Father John Hughes, and then he calls Bane to clean up the crime scene. Guy Ritchie really is a genius, ain't he?
Call it, Harry.
I can imagine that Vanessa would like for me to let you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
But that's a difficult thing for me to do.
In at number 21 is our favourite Kingpin back in action. Yeah, Wilson Fisk goes full mental in this outburst, but I guess the crash out is valid because he's thrashing the dude who got his woman while he was locked up. Look, it's a messed up situation to begin with, and I'm sure that poor dude Adam had no idea he'd rizzed the freaking Kingpin's wife, but life ain't fair, is it? It does make Fisk more vulnerable in the story because he was supposed to be this peak masculine character, especially in the Netflix version of Daredevil, but here his own wife cheated on him. I guess beating the living daylights out of your wife's side piece does a lot better for you than couples therapy, hey? What's even more badass is that Fisk promises to Vanessa that he wouldn't kill Adam, but he sure as hell got close to it as possible. Side note, shout out to Adam for being so durable. That dude took more blows than the Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
Don't cry, Chrissy. It's time for your suffering to end.
Up next is a villain who totally saved Stranger Things from self-destruction. Vecna is a horror antagonist right out of Freddy Krueger's Book of Nightmares, and the creators wasted no time in showing us how he is inspired from the horror legend. Stranger Things was falling off, and fans were starting to lose hope in the franchise. Then they came back with this episode, and more particularly, this scene. Vecna's introduction includes his first on-screen kill, and it was true spectacular horror. I never thought I'd get to see something like this on a Netflix show, so naturally I got hooked right back into the show, just like millions of other fans across the globe. This is such a brutal kill, and the aura on display is unmatchable. This truly is the final boss of an iconic show. Fun fact, the actor playing Victor Creel is Robert Englund. Yes, he's the same person who played Freddy Krueger in the OG Nightmare on Elm Street films. He also recently got honoured on Halloween with his own Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Let's get you back to...
Now we've got a villain who does some of the most ridiculous stuff ever. Then again, he's got his name for a reason. Bullseye uses his teeth to pull off an insane kill, and I'm not even surprised by it, to be honest. The two-shot may have felt like a goofy moment to fans who only watch the shows, but let me tell you something. This doesn't even touch the tip of some of the crazy, insane stuff that Bullseye does in Marvel Comics. It's never really explained if he's superhuman or a mutant, although it's certainly implied that he's not natural. His past is a mystery as well, and that's what makes him scary and intimidating. No one knows where Bullseye came from, what he's like, or how he's so talented. This ability to turn any object into a deadly projectile is apparently just a thing he can do. He's not only an insane, savage psychopath, but he's also inexplicably talented, and this scene does a great job of portraying it.
I sent an accomplice into your office in overalls. He found your gun and unloaded it.
In at number 18 is one of the most memorable villains from Peaky Blinders. Tommy meets a worthy adversary here in Luca Changretta, played by the immensely talented Adrian Brody. Not only does Luca look absolutely dapper in that suit of his, the lines he spoke came with weight, which is the difference between hiring a normal actor and an award-winning one. There's nothing fancy on display here, it's just two opposing gentlemen discussing the current situation. It's quite the task to command a scene with Tommy Shelby in the same room, but Luca does it effortlessly while also issuing threats to his entire family. Stating how his organization was of a different dimension was an S-tier flex, and the sheer aura coming from Luca was enough for me to give him a mention on today's video. What's even better is that the two actors in this scene are also the latest Oscar winners for the Best Actor over the past 2 years.
I want you to be alive after your entire family is dead. Because my mother says that is what hurt you the most.
이제부터 게임을 하겠습니다. 여러분들이 하실 게임은 가위바위보 하나 빼기입니다. 아시죠?
Up next is a character who steals the show with the least amount of screen time. Yeah, the recruiter was a truly crazy salesman, and he somehow managed to gain more fans from Squid Game than the main character Gi-hun. He showed us his real face in a rather twisted round of rock, paper, scissors gone rogue. This was the exact moment we realized just how deranged the recruiter really was, turning a harmless childhood game into something straight out of a nightmare.
가위바위보 하나 빼기. 가위바위보 하나 빼기. 가위바위보 하나 빼기. 가위바위보 하나 빼기. 가위바위보.
Even though Kim and Choi Woo-seok aren't big characters, the bond between them was pretty solid. But seeing Gong Yoo channel that kind of sinister energy was wild. Usually he's the guy saving everyone, like in Train to Busan, but here you'd probably root for the zombies over him. The entire scene keeps you guessing who's gonna make it out alive, while the recruiter grins like he's at a carnival. Watching Kim's fate unfold was brutal, but it also got me thinking. Imagine Squid Game with the recruiter running the whole operation as the frontman. Yikes.
Knowledge is power.
Seize him. Cut his throat. I've changed my mind. Let him go. Power is power.
Look who we have here. It's Cersei showing that she's the real boss girl to Littlefinger. That dude's been one annoying prick, alright? I mean, he's the reason Ned Stark didn't make it past season 1. But then again, that's just how Game of Thrones functions as a show, at least during the seasons that were good. Anyway, Peter Baelish tries to act wise with Cersei by hinting at her supposed Alabama relations with Jaime. However, she quickly reminded him that while that knowledge was certainly useful, there's nothing quite like power. Man, that was such a cold move, especially considering the instantaneous responses from her guards. Heck, The Weeknd even made a whole song based off that one line with SZA and Travis Scott. Man, why couldn't they maintain this consistency towards the final few seasons too? I'll never forgive the showrunners for this crime.
Do see if you can take some time away from your coins and your to locate the Star Girl for me. I would very much appreciate it.
Oh, shit!
In at number 15 is the Penguin once again, but more sinister. Bro really wants to see everyone burn, doesn't he? Oz crossed every possible line when he torched what was meant to be a family gathering. Maroney's wife and kid were nothing more than casualties in his eyes, but seriously, why does this guy always have to take things that far? Every time you start thinking the Penguin might have a hint of decency left, he flips the switch and does something so vile that it makes your stomach turn. This scene perfectly captures why Oswald is the last person you should ever trust, unless your money's on him doing whatever benefits him the most. That grin on his face while watching a mother and her son burn was absolutely chilling. This may be badass, but it's also got bad intentions. Truly unforgettable.
Howdy, boys. Oh, sorry. How you guys doing?
It was just a matter of time before this guy showed up, wasn't it? Homelander can do a lot of things, and stealth is one of them, but when given the chance, he'd much rather just light it up with those laser eyes. I mean, he did get to his target without getting noticed, but then the intrusive thoughts took over, and we all saw what happened next. You can tell how lazy Homelander's gotten with his fighting too. It's been so long since he's been challenged, he resolves every fight by just looking at the bad guys. Even the soldiers were terrified by what they saw, and rightfully so.
God bless America.
You've come the closest. Now you're in my way.
Thank you.
Didn't mean it as a compliment.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, okay, I did. But the flirting's over, Sherlock. Daddy's had enough now.
Up next is the greatest opponent for the smartest detective. Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock was peak television, and it's already given me a sense of nostalgia despite being released in 2010. A lot of that has to do with how epic of a villain Moriarty was. His mere presence in this scene exuded aura, and you could see how nervous he made Sherlock just by being in his line of sight.
Sorry, boys. I'm so changeable. It is a weakness with me, but to be fair to myself, it is my only weakness.
The plans and mental games are obviously there, but it's also his body language that tells us he's the ultimate final boss of the show. The scene is directed brilliantly too, so everything comes together just about right.
Do you know what happens if you don't leave me alone, Sherlock? To you?
Oh, let me guess. I get killed.
Kill you? No, don't be obvious. I mean, I'm gonna kill you anyway someday. I don't want to rush it, though. I'm saving it up for something special.
Señores,
Les voy a decir quién soy. Yo soy Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria.
In at number 12 is a badass entry worthy of its character. Everybody's a gangster till Pablo Escobar walks in and names all of your family members. The man didn't need to raise his voice or even wave a gun. All it took was a few names and the room froze.
Qué pena, señor Escobar, pero es que nosotros no somos la policía de Medellín que se gana una mierda a la semana.
No, hermana, es que no es para usted.
Entonces,
Es para Carlitos. Su hijo.
This was Escobar at his coldest, showing up in Colonel Jose's world and reminding everyone what real fear looks like. Those guards tried to play it cool at first, pretending they were too loyal to be swayed, but with Pablo, it's never about money, but rather survival. The second he mentioned their families, all that fake bravado vanished. What makes it even scarier is how calm he stays through it all, like power itself is just second nature to him. Wagner Moura completely nailed that quiet menace, didn't he?
Plata o plomo. Ustedes eligen.
Up next is an example of murders in the sky, easily the best Dragon moment of Season 1. Vhagar finally showed everyone why she's the most terrifying creature in this world. What started as Aemon just trying to mess around with Lucerys and Arax turned into something way darker when Vhagar decided she wasn't taking orders anymore. One chomp and both Lucerys and Arax were gone. The flight chase looked amazing, but that ending may not have been part of the plan. But yeah, Arax tried to pull a fast one with that fire blast, so maybe he should have seen it coming. Vhagar's no pushover, and she proved it. The way the camera caught every second of that final bite made the whole thing hit way harder than anyone expected. Kicking off my top 10 is a pretty epic moment from Game of Thrones. The Night King did have a role to play in the show, but if I were to guess his side hustle, it would be aura farming. This is a villain who didn't speak a single word throughout the entire show and still commanded the screen every single time he showed up. Towards the end of this episode, when we think the danger's finally over, our man casually raises his arms and with that, he gets a whole new army at his disposal. It was totally wicked stuff and the look on Jon Snow's face said it all. Hardhome was such a great episode. I'm gonna go watch it again now.
Screw with me now, just a little bit, and you'll never really be with your one and only Vanessa ever again.
Oh man, the Kingpin really loves his wife, doesn't he? That actually makes the affair in Daredevil Born Again a lot more tragic, but I'm not here for relationship counseling, alright? Back to the sea, it's not every day you see a blind guy imitating a hulking mafia boss, but that's exactly what Matt Murdock does here. What starts as a warning to Fisk quickly turns into Daredevil threatening to keep Vanessa out of the country. Yeah.
Speak her name again! Go ahead!
That was a big mistake. Fisk snaps his cuffs like they're paper and slams Matt onto the table, giving a speech so chilling it cuts right through the scene.
When I finally get out of this cage, I will dismantle the lives of the two amateurs that put me in here!
Fastest man alive, what a joke. What did you say? Nothing. Nothing?
What did you say to me?
I'm sorry.
Up next is another very important lesson, folks. Don't talk back to evil Superman. A-Train may have been wrongfully shamed by Homelander for indulging in excessive calories, but you do need to have some sense of awareness. It's not like anyone can compete with the main villain of The Boys, so if he's fat shaming you, the wise decision would be to keep your mouth shut unless you want to be blasted to bits. The display of superhero made us all instantly realize that just like his snacks, A-Train was gonna get cooked. The red lights flashing in Homelander's eyes totally made him look like the devil himself. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching my diet around him.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Say it. I'm sorry. Say it! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Míreme. Que me mire.
Oh yes, now this is how you do vengeance. You can reach the top of the world, but you should still be smart enough not to mess with the god of crime, Pablo frickin' Escobar. The guy's legend was so massive that even before Narcos, the show Entourage built an entire storyline around Vincent Chase trying to play him in Medellin. That may have bombed in the show, but Narcos gave us the real deal, which was Pablo in his purest, most ruthless form. He's cold, methodical, and terrifyingly focused, especially after what went down with his cousin. Gario and his squad never stood a chance, did they? That scene where Pablo walks away with flames lighting up the night was unreal, kind of like watching a king emerge from hell itself. And when he finally faces Gario after everything's said and done, it feels less like revenge and more like the devil's punishment. Those last few frames sure cemented one truth: Pablo Escobar doesn't forgive, and he sure as heck doesn't forget.
Por mi primo, Gustavo.
Take off your mask.
Up next is a disgusting but dangerous villain. The scene does end with him dying, but it's not before Errol Childress almost got rid of both Rust and Marty. Yeah, these are two strong, capable men, so the villain's victims never really stood a chance. There's nothing that surpassed season 1 of True Detective after its release, and this villain is one of the many reasons for that. Childress was absolutely brutal, totally dominating Rust despite all of his combat experience, and I must say, they totally nailed this final battle because of how it ties everything in from the story. Either way, I don't think I could ever look at Errol's actor in the eye after seeing his character.
Bo-Katan Kryze. What's it gonna be this time? Surrender? Or fight?
In at number 5 is Moff Gideon, who's a force on his own. The Mandalorian may not be as popular as it once was, but adding Gideon was definitely a wise move. Here he dominates Bo with ease, although he does have the benefit of the Star Wars version of an Iron Man suit. Anyway, Din and Baby Yoda, Grogu, show up in the nick of time to save the day. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Gideon was an absolute menace right before their entrance. Honestly, I feel he could have given all three of them a good fight by himself.
The Darksaber is gone. You've lost everything.
Did you know that I had a father out there? Alive this whole time?
It's quite safe to say that Homelander is unbeatable. We've seen it time and time again, but the real flex here is how effortlessly he annihilates Black Noir, despite the character's durability being his strong point. Homelander's strength is surely on display, but we can also see genuine pain in his eyes.
Why didn't you tell me?
He actually trusted Black Noir, so taking him out wasn't easy at all from a mental standpoint. But then again, he's Homelander and he can do whatever the heck he wants. Side note, I still don't know how I should feel about those animated characters in Noir's mind. They just felt so weird in general, you know? Oh boy, here's a good one. We already saw Reacher losing aura, but this one has the Punisher getting humbled. He's usually a lot more ruthless, but I suppose the earlier prison fight may have tired him out a bit. Even so, Wilson Fisk had no business being so dominant in this fight. It's a great example of how dangerous he is as a villain, because if the freaking Punisher is treated this way, then everybody else should just stay the heck away from him. I honestly have no clue how Netflix managed to allow such a well-written show on its platform, but more importantly, where on earth are those writers today? We really need them, especially with so much forgettable content on streaming nowadays.
I'm in control now. And I've set you free.
You set me free. I'll show you.
Narrowly missing out on the top spot is the Wrath of the Dragon Mother. Daenerys Targaryen may have started off as a promising hero in Game of Thrones. That all changed when she got corrupted by power and inefficient writers. Even so, the Iron Fleet never stood a chance against her and Drogon. They didn't even know what hit them, but let's be real, would it have mattered if they did? This was Drogon running hot, plus Daenerys completely losing it, and together they were just unstoppable. The sheer chaos, the fire raining down, ships getting blown apart. It was wild and chaotic. You could feel the fury in every second of it. This wasn't just an attack, it was Daenerys showing us why they all call her the Mother of Dragons. Honestly, I think we deserve a spin-off just to see what Drogon got up to after it all ended.
Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going into work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up.
Numero uno can only have one champion, and it's the protagonist who became the ultimate villain. I mean, Walter White is a greedy anti-hero at best, but he's clearly written to be more of an antagonist. Regardless, when a man knocks, everyone darn well listens. Breaking Bad keeps showing up on the greatest of all time lists, and honestly, it earns every bit of that praise. Here, Heisenberg drops one of the coldest self-descriptions ever put to screen. The way he contrasts what his wife thinks he is with what he's actually become was pure brilliance. And when he switches gears and declares that he's the one people should be afraid of was the moment you realize he's gone full legend. Bryan Cranston absolutely owned this scene. It's one of those performances that sticks with you, and the fact that it turned into a meme without anyone even mocking it is when you know it hit god tier status.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the TV region, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.